Okay, continuing on with the 97 Tahoe. I think the last place I left off was the engine, was installing that new poppet for number 7 on the driver's side. Cylinders 1357 going from the front to the back, 1357. I'm firing on all 8 cylinders now. It's running good. The only problem is my check engine light is still on and it's flashing, which means it's an emissions issue. So I went to my local O'Reilly's and picked up a couple of Bosch oxygen sensors for the 97 Tahoes, 5.7 liter. There are 4 O2 sensors, one for each bank. Bank 1 being the driver's side, bank 2 being the passenger side. And there's a bank 1 of 1 and bank 1 sensor 2, or bank 1 sensor 1, bank 1 sensor 2. 1 and 2 means upstream and downstream. Upstream and downstream means you have one before the catalytic converter, which is upstream, and one downstream, which means after the catalytic converter. So I've got one of each here. This is what the code's pulled. It's also showing 2 of 2, and I did not have enough money to buy all 3, but I will be going back and picking up the 3rd one. Maybe jump online. I know these are online and they're cheaper. Just depends on if I feel like doing this right away. I'll go pay the money because they're right here and it's convenient. If I'm not going to worry about this repair on the other side today, then I won't worry about it, because when I got this up and on jack stands, you can't hear it, but maybe you can. I don't know if that's a bearing or if it's loose or what, but I have to pull this wheel off, pull the brake caliper, and check the bearings on this side and make sure they're okay. If they are, I got to repack them, etc. So I might end up spending money on bearings instead of a new O2 sensor. All right, let me crawl under and I'll show you where bank 1 sensor 1 and bank 1 sensor 2s are. Door, oops, sorry about that. Driver's side door. Entering from under the truck on the driver's side. Right as you come under, this is the exhaust for bank 1. That's sensor number 1. Remember, that's upstream in the catalytic converter. And if you follow that sensor, that exhaust pipe, all the way down, there's the catalytic converter for it. And right behind that catalytic converter, on top, up there, behind this transmission cross member, is sensor number 2, downstream. So let me get these, that was going to be fun to get disconnected. The connectors behind that little panel right there, that plate. I take it back. Yeah, that's where it's at. So I get to take that off and get up in behind there and disconnect the connector and install the new one and go from there. All right, stand by. Okay, sensor number 1 done. Came out pretty easy. There's a plug up here. Just remember, you have to pull out that little blue, that's a little keeper. Pull that blue one out and then raise this up. Also, on the new O2 sensors, they have a plug that has this automatic, not automatic, it's just this little keeper pin, this post. On the other one, I just took some side cutters and cut that off and got that out of the way. Moved this down, disconnected it, and then got the new sensor in, and then reconnected everything and put it back on that bracket. It's a little plastic bracket. On to number 2, bank 1. Sensor number 2, I mentioned, was behind this box up here, and on the outside of the frame rail there's a 1/2 inch bolt, and all you do is get this bolt off, or take this nut. Actually, it's a 1/2 inch nut. Okay, there's the nut. This is the bolt. I think it's right here, down here where the little 2 pins are. Then you reach inside, and what it looks like there. I guess they do that because it's under the truck here, and if you're going to be driving these through, use it for a hunting vehicle or something, you don't tear the wires out. Alright. Now this one here is the same thing. Right here on this outside of the frame rail, it's got the little post for mounting it. So I'll cut that off because the new one comes with that. Or I'll just yank the shit out of it. How about that? Nope. I'm gonna have to cut it. Fucking turd. Alright. Alright. Whilst in the process of getting ready to change the O2 sensors, which by the way got them done. And when I pulled it in, I knew I had a leak down here for the heater bypass. And it had been leaking a little bit, and I thought it might have been just a clamp. But once I got it in the garage and I just barely touched the bottom inlet side coming off of the manifold going into the valve, I just barely touched it and it broke right off. 15 bucks at O'Reilly's, got that replaced. Got the O2 sensors on, and I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up, put my antifreeze back in it, and throw it around for a little bit and take it over and shoot the codes on it and see what has happened. Now, I had 6 or 8 different error codes pull when I took this thing over to O'Reilly, and figured I would start with the 2 oxygen sensors on at least one bank. It shows 2 of 2, or bank 2 sensor 2. It shows that it's bad also. But I started with just the first 2, and I had the battery disconnected when I started the work. And when I hooked the battery back up, the check engine light was gone. I'll turn off the AC here right quick. There we go. But as you can see now, check engine light is off, and just to prove that it's working, whenever whenever you turn your key on, it does an instrument check. And you can see right there, service engine soon light, check gauges, etc. And that solved the problem, which is cool. Now, eventually, I probably will end up replacing the two O2 sensors for bank 2, just because. I mean, I've got 2 brand new ones on bank 1, but I do plan on eventually replacing the other 2. Car's got 208,000, almost 209,000 miles on it, and they look like original equipment. But that's it for today. I've already driven it about 40 miles. I'm going to drive it for another 45, 50, and then take it in to O'Reilly, get them to pull the codes one more time, make sure everything's clear, and if it is, I'll go for my emissions inspection, and then once I can get that done, I go and get it registered, and then I will be legit. That's it for now. So until next time we do more work on the 97 Tahoe and getting it ready, road ready, I'll check in with you then. Adios.